Let's talk about Donnie McClurkin. Oh my, this is very, very bad for Donnie McClurkin. Donnie McClurkin breaks silence on allegations of sexual assaults. This is very, very, very bad for him. This doesn't look good. This doesn't look good. He's come out to, he's spoken out, but what are we talking about? First of all, before we talk about his spoken out, he's now making a statement. But before we get into his statement, why are we talking about Donnie McClurkin? It says Donnie McClurkin has broken his silence after an explosive lawsuit filed against him last week accused him of coercion and sexual assault. After denying the allegations through his attorney, the 66-year-old Grammy-winning a pastor took to Instagram. Okay, so before we get into what he said, I think I might have a video from a young lady who actually did a great job. I'll see. I'm not sure. Did a great job breaking this down. Yeah, I found it. Let's look at this video together.
Couple days, but I finally got my hands on the lawsuit that was filed against gospel superstar Donnie McClurkin.
Shout out to I'm not lawyer, but
And I'm not a lawyer, but I read the 15-page complaint, so let me walk you through exactly what is being alleged. Trigger warning, this lawsuit contains allegations involving sexual assault, sexual battery, and coercion. So this is your warning. Okay, so the lawsuit was filed by a man named Giuseppe Corletto, and according to the complaint, Corletto first met Donnie McClurkin in August of 2003 when Corletto was 21 years old. Corletto had recently read McClurkin's book, Eternal Victim, Eternal Victor, which is an autobiography that details the childhood abuse that McClurkin suffered, as well as his struggles with homosexuality and his belief that he was healed and delivered from it. And so, since Corletto says he was also struggling with his own sexuality in light of his religious beliefs, Corletto sought out Donnie McClurkin in search for some guidance. Now, at this time, Donnie McClurkin's church, Perfecting Faith Church, was holding services outdoors, which was referred to as Church Without Walls, where people would share their testimonies about being delivered from homosexuality, prostitution, drugs, and some other things. So Corletto goes to one of the services. He ends up meeting Donnie McClurkin afterward, and according to the suit, Donnie McClurkin prayed for Corletto and assured him that he would help deliver him from homosexuality. However, the complaint says that after that church service, one of the ministers from the church, who was apparently also struggling with homosexuality, began contacting Corletto and even showed up at his house unannounced. So Corletto is uncomfortable with this, so he starts missing services and contemplates leaving the church. But then, according to the lawsuit, Donnie McClurkin reached out to Corletto personally and told him that the minister was being dealt with and that the whole situation was a test from God that Corletto had passed. From there, Corletto and Donnie McClurkin develop a mentor-mentee relationship, and McClurkin even hires Corletto to work as his personal assistant. And it's at this point, according to the lawsuit, that the allegations begin. The lawsuit says that while Corletto was working for Donnie McClurkin, they would have, quote, pray the gay away spiritual sessions, and during these sessions, McClurkin would allegedly touch Corletto without his consent. The suit also says that Donnie McClurkin would set up interactions between Corletto and other men and then frame these interactions as, quote, tests from God. As an example, the suit says during a trip to the Bahamas, Donnie McClurkin set up for a male model to go to Corletto's hotel room. And after Corletto was successful in resisting this model, Donnie McClurkin allegedly praised him and told him that he passed another test. The next incident that's detailed in the lawsuit is from a 2007 business trip to California, and the suit says that on this trip, Donnie McClurkin had actually brought his girlfriend at the time along with him. However, at some point during this trip, Corletto goes to McClurkin's room, and while he's there, McClurkin takes off his pants, exposes himself, and then pulls Corletto onto the bed, forcibly kissing and touching him. Corletto says he cried and objected and tried to tell McClurkin to stop, but McClurkin went on to orally engage with him. And then the lawsuit says that over the course of the next 6 years, incidents similar to that California hotel one continued to happen, including an allegation that Donnie McClurkin would secretly touch and grope Corletto before he would go up to preach. Some of the incidents that happened during the course of those 6 years happened in Atlantic City, New Jersey, Long Island, New York, Donnie McClurkin's home in New York, a park in New York, and a hotel on the Upper East Side of Manhattan. And in that particular incident, The lawsuit says Corletto attempted to leave the hotel room, but the door was locked. Now, the lawsuit says Corletto did try to quit working as Donnie's assistant multiple times, but McClurkin would deny those requests and tell him his deliverance and his purpose were tied to McClurkin. According to the lawsuit, Corletto also tried to report McClurkin's conduct to church staff members, but none of the people he informed did anything. So ultimately, in 2008, Corletto says he stopped working for McClurkin, but because his new job was at a Christian broadcast network, he still had to encounter McClurkin. By 2012, Corletto ends up getting a new job. This time it's working for an airline company, but according to the lawsuit, his encounters with Donnie McClurkin didn't stop. The lawsuit alleges that in April of 2000.
All right, so if you want to watch the full video, I suggest you go check her out at TikTok. I'm not a lawyer, but but I wanted to play. I want to play Donnie McClurkin's statement about this. So let's listen to what he has to say about this.
To address something personally, you've heard a lot that's been going on. You've heard many different accusations lodged and alleged. You've heard some very untrue things. And you've also seen an official statement that I put out. But I wanted to lend my voice and my face to this. And I wanted to let you know that I thank God for every one of you praying for me and for the support. I thank God for truth, which you have not heard. You have not heard the truth, but you will.
Okay.
But I just didn't want to go any longer without addressing it. I've remained silent while this campaign, this media campaign was launched. I've remained silent because the Bible tells you to just wanted to address something.
Wait, we're not done.
Personally, slow to speak. Slow to speak.
Slow to speak.
Quick to hear and slow to anger.
Slow to anger. Okay.
And so I had to sit back and I had to pray because there are people that look.
By the way, that's also true even if the allegations are true. Okay. For those of you that I need to pull to where we are, and even if the allegations are true, yeah, you should be slow to speak and and what did he say? Pray, right? There's a whole scripture around slow to speak, slow to anger, all that. Those are all ancient wisdom, and it is always true, regardless of if the allegation is true or false. You need to take your time to properly respond. Some of them are going to jump out there. Let me just tell the truth. You're not necessarily helping anybody doing that, including yourself, okay? But I'll tell you what I think the lesson is in a second. Let's keep going.
For this to be true, there are people that have already formed their opinion based on the strategic approach of defamation that's gone forward. But I just want to let you all know from my mouth to you, from my heart to yours, that it's unfortunate that I'm trying to be delicate. It's unfortunate that such allegations have been lodged. I don't understand the machinations of the young man's mind. He's not young, really. He's 40 some odd years old. But slow to speak.
Slow to speak.
I've been seeing this fellow in over, now it's 11 years, since 2015.
All right, let me just make my word. You guys can go and find the videos everywhere. Just Google Donnie McClurkin. Let me just say this, okay? Religious people, not just pastors, you need to make sure. Shout out to Kudirat. Kudirat says, you suffer men like Paito, Lutayo, they are everywhere. 2026 is their year. They are everywhere. I don't know if there's truth to it. I don't know if there's light to it. All I know is that these people are human beings. They're not perfect. And some of their... when they had great power, there's so much power that's accorded to a person that's seen as a spiritual leader, and it's easy to make certain mistakes too. Welcome, babe. It's very easy. It just comes with options. It comes with so many things, and you have to, what I said, to whom much is given, much is required. It's difficult, okay? It's a lot of temptations that's thrown at them all the time. So, but in addition to that, this young man 60 something, probably closing on 70. Donnie McClurkin he came out years ago that he struggled with homosexuality and that he was healed. He wrote a whole book around it. And of course, what do you think that does? That attracts a bunch of temptations, as you can imagine. But you know what? Spiritual people never think that they're psychological beings. They always take that for granted. They think, you just pray the gay away, right? But we're learning some new things. We're learning that it's not that easy. We're learning that you cannot separate spirituality from our existence, the human experience. You can't do that. You're going to shoot yourself in the legs. So whatever you're doing with your spiritual life, make sure that it's holistic. Make sure that you're not putting yourself on a pedestal. Make sure for lunch. Sorry, if you don't understand Yoruba, I'm sorry, okay? Just make sure that you know what you're doing, okay? Because oftentimes people run behind spirituality, and the longer it takes for you to be exposed, the worse it's gonna be. I don't know if he did any of this. It's proven is innocent until proven guilty. But I see somebody posted here. I thought that was an interesting comment. Somebody said over 6 years sounds like a relationship to me. Yeah, that's what it sounds like to me. Some say I'm so tired of people using God as a scapegoat. So they're using God as a scapegoat. Sounds like there was some kind of relationship. I don't know what type of relationship, but I want to leave the rest of the opinion to you. Let me know what your opinions about this. Do you believe it, or do you think this is just the devil attacking our men of God? What do you think? Do me a favor, hit the like button, share, subscribe, turn up your notifications so you're notified when we go live. Let's move on to some other trendy stories around the world.
This is Ola, Man of Prestige, your favorite relationship and marriage coach. If you enjoy this, smash that like, subscribe, and share it with someone who needs it. Be a part of the Prestige family. My wife Lola and I have written 2 powerful books, Get My Marriage Back and Number 1 Red Flag. Yours free at manofprestige.com. For personal coaching, send me a WhatsApp request for consultation to +1 732 305 8577. Stay tuned for more. Your journey to love and prestige starts here.